it wasn't as easy as we thought it would be, right? It wasn't like, oh, 3D scan you, print you out. We didn't know all the back end stuff. The way they showed it, it was like, oh yeah, just scan, put it in the computer, and then print, right? Yeah, so we got fooled, right? But then we learned. The printer itself was like a one subject, a monster itself. The 3D scanner was another issue, and then after you scan, you have to know the digital, right? The digital cleanup and software. We didn't know none of that. It was so new. Like this technology was so new to the public period, right? Nobody even understood what it was.
Well, I love the San Gabriel Valley.
Welcome to the My SGV podcast.
So I grew up here and I still live in Alhambra.
I was raised in between Temple City and Alhambra.
Eventually resided in South San Gabriel.
Our mission is to capture and share the stories of the people of the San Gabriel Valley.
Monterey Park has pretty much been my whole life.
Well, I'm proud to say that I was born and raised in the San Gabriel Valley.
We believe our diversity is what makes the SGV great. And no matter where you are from, in the San Gabriel Valley, you will feel welcome. All right, SGVers, welcome back to another episode of the My SGV podcast. Thank you for tuning in. If you are new here, welcome. We bring you the stories of the people of the San Gabriel Valley. And if you are a returning listener, thank you so much for spending this time with us. We really, really do appreciate it. Well, Will, you had me come into your studio, and I must say, like, going there was a true experience to actually feel what you do. And I hope that that comes across today, in this episode. But there's such a difference from just seeing what you do or even explaining it to actually like going there.
Yeah, totally. That's why we kind of wanted you to come down just to have a feel for it and how everything works, right? I know this technology is still really new, and we wanted to like bring it out to the public and then let them know it exists. We're here, it exists. So we want you to experience that.
Yeah, for sure. And so just looking at them, like, we're going to get into your story. I was like, okay, you can make a figure of somebody, right? That's cool. Do I want a figure of myself? I don't know. But then I saw your family.
Yeah.
I was so moved by that. I'm still moved by it today. And immediately I thought of my family, and I thought of the loved ones that I could memorialize like that, and how I can memorialize my kids growing up. And I was like, oh my gosh, I never, like, even explaining it now is not doing it justice.
Yeah.
Like when you see it, it's so crazy. It's so crazy.
I'm glad.
Yeah. So I'm really excited to get into that story. But before that, thank you to Paris Baguette for sponsoring the delicious pastries and treats every week for our guests. They get a choice between savory and sweet. So we get to see if they have a sweet tooth or not. And go say hi to Jason and the crew from us. They're located on Las Tunas in the city of San Gabriel. So Paris Baguette, thank you. He came to the United States as a child from Vietnam, part of a family who left everything behind but their faith in a better future. Growing up along the border of Monterey Park and Montebello, he absorbed the SGV's spirit, resourceful, creative, and always rebuilding. Years later, that same spirit drove him to merge art and technology in a way few people imagined possible, using digital tools to capture memories, preserve legacies, and bring imagination to life through 3D printing and design. From small community projects to global collaborations, his work turns stories into tangible art, bridging culture, innovation, and heart right here in the SGV. Please welcome to the show, Will Ko. Will, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. That intro, man, that's good. Damn.
Yeah, I'm glad. I love it when the guest says that. My goal was to like really make them feel great.
Thank you.
And what a way to start a show, right?
Totally. It's a good feeling,
Yeah. Yeah, right? Like, because this is about you. So I really wanted that to be, to highlight you.
Thank you. So before we start, we made you came down, and we wanted to get your reaction on camera, right? So everybody can see, that's the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
You can open it later,
Yes. So we'll definitely open it later when we get to that. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to show you this too. So thank you. Thank you.
Totally.
Will, this is called the My SGV podcast.
Okay.
The listeners want to know that you're one of us. So what's your connection to the San Gabriel Valley?
What's my connection? Well, I grew up in Monterey Park, borderline Montebello. Went to high school, Montebello for sure. Went to intermediate in Bella Vista. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, Monterey Park.
Where's that?
It's on it's still in Monterey Park. It's not too far from like borderline. Like we're on the borderline of Monterey Park and Montebello. Where
It's
the
like the
60 freeway is.
60?
Yeah,
Yeah.
where 60 is right there. That's Bella Vista right there.
Okay.
So I went to intermediate there and in middle school in Macy's, and then we moved to Rosemead, with my parents, and then I still went to high school in Schurr.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say that area of Monterey Park, especially borderline Montebello, you must have had a lot of Latino friends growing up.
Yeah. Amazing Mexican food there, right? That's where you get all the amazing like J&S burritos.
Oh,
over
yeah.
there. Yeah.
Oh, I actually get the taquitos there.
Oh, J&S?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
nice. Yeah, the breakfast burrito there's amazing. Yeah.
I remember the taquitos were like, you couldn't even see the taquitos because all the guacamole that they put.
Yeah. That was
Okay.
a spot. That was a spot back in high school. It's right
Okay,
by
so
the
you
freeway.
grew up in the SGV.
Yeah.
You're from the SGV.
Mhm.
Okay. And you said you went to Macy. That's at
Oh, to Macy.
Elder Park,
That's like,
right?
Yeah. That's like 4th through 8th grade.
Okay. And what is your ethnic background, Will?
I'm Chinese, but I was born in Vietnam.
So ethnically Chinese,
Yes.
but born in Vietnam.
Correct.
And did your parents tell you of their story of why they came here?
Yes, they did. So they were trying to escape the war, the Vietnam War, right? And during that time, I was born in the 80s. So my grandfather on my mom's side, he was working for the U.S. side at that time. So he was able to come here first with my grandma, and then they did the paperwork, and then they took all of us over after. But a lot of people try to escape the war, and really horrific time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot there was a lot of Vietnamese working with the U.S. in order to be able to come here.
Correct. Yeah.
So did they land in the SGV or was it Orange County?
My grandparents in Monterey Park.
Oh, they landed in Monterey Park.
They landed in Monterey Park on my mom's side. My father's side, they're all in Australia,
Oh.
so they went outside. So on my grandfather's side, we did the paperwork for us. We actually went to the Philippines for the camp.
So
first.
you were there.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, but I was really young, so I have like vivid memories of things, I guess, when we were there.
Wow.
And then we came here.
Well, what do you remember from there?
The camp, we had like a bed, mosquito nets. That's what we slept in. Waiting in line to get food. Waiting in line to like showers. Like it's almost like a men's gym. Like when you go showering, like all the guys are together type of thing, and you just take a shower there type of thing. Play with the local kids outside in the grass, like catching frogs. Yeah, just little stuff like that.
Do you remember how the feeling was with your family?
At that time, no, not really. I just know like that's like the only memory I have during that time for the whole camp thing.
And what was your family's life like or change? How did it change once you guys arrived in Monterey Park?
Well, from what I was told from my parents, my mom's side, they were pretty wealthy at the time. And obviously when the war happened, everything was gone, right? So they lost everything. So we came here with nothing other than like a suitcase with our clothing and, starting from ground up.
So what were some of your fondest memories growing up in Monterey Park?
As a child, I guess my grandparents took care of us a lot. He'll take us to school. He'll walk me to school while my parents, worked and stuff. My dad, so English is not our second language. So my dad went to school, to college to get a degree. My mom was doing, I think, sewing at the time because that's what she knew how to do. So I was really close to my grandparents because they'll take care of us basically, right? And that's it. I mean, as a child, and then we moved out with my parents, and then my brother came along, type of thing. But when we were all here, like everybody was living in a household. There's like 7 siblings, like my uncles and stuff, in the house. Yeah, when we first came.
In one house?
In one house, yeah.
And do you remember what life was like during that time?
I mean, it was fun. I mean, like, I think that's the best time at that time in year when we were kids because we get to play outside with other local kids, my friends, play baseball, catch and everything, tag. Those were like one of the highlights, I guess, as a kid growing up in the 80s, 90s, right?
Yeah.
You play outside, yeah.
I've heard so many stories of families immigrating here, 20 people in a 3-bedroom apartment, 3 different families, small. And at first, I think when I was younger, I used to hear those stories and think how sad.
Yeah.
But now as an adult and family, I think like, oh man, having your family together is pretty incredible.
It is.
However you have that.
Yeah.
And like now maybe a family has 4 bedrooms and they're off in their bedroom and they're, and they're not even like connected,
Together.
even though they're in the same space.
Yeah. I
So,
agree.
wow. Okay. So you had some fond memories of that time.
Yeah.
And what was it like hanging out with or being, taken care of by your grandparents?
It was fun because my grandma cooked amazing food, right? I remember she'll cook for the whole family every night, right? My uncle and aunts, they were all there. Obviously, we all live in one household. We have dinner together. My cousins, they would be around because they were born here. My cousins, so they have their own, family. Their parents, they don't live in the household. But yeah, I mean, I love the family bonding time, with my uncles and stuff. My aunts and my cousins, like even though they live separately somewhere else, we always come together, because their parents would drop them off to my grandma to watch. So all the siblings are together, all the cousins together. So, we share memories together, as a child, young. And then we talk about it now, like, oh, remember that time in Halloween, I scared you guys with box type of thing, we just reminisce, it's good times. Yeah.
So for the listener who doesn't understand, what is ethnically Chinese born in Vietnam? Like what is that, sort of ethnic group to you?
To me, so my great grandfather actually came from China to Vietnam. From there, I was born in Saigon, right? And to like the main city in Saigon would be Chu Long, and it's more like the Chinese area, I guess you could say. So the whole bloodline is Chinese, but I was just born in Vietnam.
So culturally, your traditions, your language is all Chinese.
Correct. Yeah.
Do you speak any Vietnamese, or do your family speak Vietnamese?
My parents speak Vietnamese. I don't speak Vietnamese. I speak Cantonese. I understand Mandarin, and my grandparents, they speak Hainam. I can understand Hainam. Yeah.
Interesting.
I just don't speak it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So when you were growing up here, how are you? What was your experience like being, from Vietnam, growing up in a city like Monterey Park?
Yeah, it was hard, right? Because I didn't understand English, right? Like, so when I would go to school, I would not understand what the teacher's saying, or the kids that I'm playing with, I wouldn't understand what they're saying to me. So it was a really tough learning curve. At the same time, it's almost like now you get bullying, right? So back then, it's almost the same thing. I was getting bullied because I didn't understand what they were saying. So I came here when I was around 3 or 4, so I was really young still. And just learning the whole English itself is really tough, for me at that time. But yeah, that's solid. It was tough. It was tough growing up as a kid.
Did you have friends who were that spoke Cantonese? Did you make friends that?
Yeah. When I was probably in 4th grade, but I think 1 through 3rd or 4th, it was a little tough. I did
1
make
through
friends.
3rd or 4th. That's a long time.
Yeah, I did. We didn't make friends, but then I had to catch the whole English language really quick because most of them spoke only English, right? So at that time, I spoke only Chinese, so it was hard for me to communicate with them. So I had to learn the language. Yeah, so once I caught on to that, then I was able to make friends. Yeah.
Was there a friend in particular who you remember, welcoming you in?
There's probably a group of 3 of us, back then that we kind of hung around together pretty closely. And then as we got older, and then they would move away to different schools and stuff like that.
Were they also Asian?
They were
Chinese?
Asian, yeah.
So how do you learn English?
That's a good one. I can't even remember how I picked that up. I think just over time in class, just the school itself, like ESL and stuff like that. I took that, but I don't even remember how I really, caught on and just learned.
Interesting.
Yeah.
My father used to tell this story. I would make friends everywhere little.
Okay.
I didn't care.
Yeah.
He would you always come back with friends at the beach. I would go by myself.
Yeah.
And he said one day I showed up at, with this friend at the door.
Yeah.
As a Danish boy, and he had bleached blonde hair and freckles. He couldn't speak a word of English. I was like, Dad, this is my friend. And he's like, a few weeks later, he's like, hey, this is so cool. It's totally rad. He's like, how does he learn how to speak so fast? So I guess the immersion of just being around people, right?
Yeah, just being around it because you just slowly pick it up. Yeah.
Okay. And so what kind of things were you into when you were little?
Since, we were growing up poor, there wasn't much I could buy or, want. So a lot of time, things, I guess, WWF, because my grandpa watched that every day.
Your grandpa?
Yeah, my grandpa.
Oh.
It would always be on 24/7. It was either wrestling or war documentary.
Was this the Hulk Hogan?
The Hulk Hogan
days?
Ultimate Warrior.
Okay.
Yeah, those days. It was always on 24/7. That's so that's the thing. I could be part of the whole wrestling with my grandpa, right? So it was that award. That was it. Yeah, there was nothing really in between. It was mainly or Chinese movies, right? But majority of the time it was just WrestleMania or documentary. It was always on.
So you were into this, watching it?
Yeah, I was watching. I would watch it with him. Yeah,
Okay.
so maybe that's how I caught on to like learning the language, right? Watching wrestling and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh, I have a funny story. We had a guest here who's from Korea.
Okay.
And she didn't know how her English was being received until someone's like, "Why do you speak like that?" All she watched was the Chris Tucker show.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so all of her language was like that, like her English.
Yeah.
So it was like, very like slang and she had no idea. I'm not laughing at her. I think that's pretty
your
cool
environment.
though.
You just grow up what you learn in your environment itself, right? Yeah.
Sure. Okay, and so then you go from Macy to Schurr.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And what was your experience there like?
What was my experience? Well, by then I really know the language. I made a lot of friends, right? We kind of transitioned from a small school to a big school. So a lot of people that, I grew up with, we all went there together, right? So obviously it's still different because the whole Asian population, Schurr, was like really small versus the Hispanic. It's more like,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What year was this? What years were this?
This is like 96, 97? Yeah, around that time.
Oh, I thought there were more Asians there, but not as many, huh?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah, it's
okay.
really, we're still a really smaller population compared to now, right? Yeah.
Okay, and what sort of things were you into then?
In high school, it wasn't much really because it was hard to play basketball because during 8th grade, 7th grade, we'll play basketball all the time. Then when in high school, like you're kind of limited to playing basketball unless you join a team, right? So they kind of block off the courts during lunchtime. Yeah, during lunchtime. And you have to find a way to ask security to open up for you type of thing to go play because it's towards the parking lot.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The outdoor and the
indoor, after, So all the sports thing was kind of limited unless you join a team after school program type of thing. So all you could do is just hang around at lunch. Yeah, so at that time I was hanging with my friends, my girlfriend at the time, and yeah.
Did you not join the team?
I didn't join anything during high school. Yeah.
How come?
I don't know. I just didn't have the.
Did you know that you could? Oh, no interest.
Yeah, I didn't, no interest in joining any of the team. I just didn't have interest in high school.
And at that time,
I'm not a school person.
Okay. At that time, did you know who you were and what you wanted to be or do?
I did. I always wanted to some kind of engineer, right? Like building stuff with my hands. And at the same time, I always told myself I always gonna have a business of some sort. So yeah.
What kind of creative outlets did you have during that time? I think that everybody is creative in some form or another, right? And having a way to express themselves through what they create, whether it's art or music or dance or building, is so important. And I feel like everybody gets crushed. And maybe you don't even know what your creative outlet was during that time. What did you have a creative outlet?
During that time, high school was more like the import stuff, right?
Okay.
The car stuff. So that was a creative outlet. Photography. I took a photography class. But I think before high school, let's go back a little bit. 8th grade, 7th grade, I was in drama. So I had to I designed the props for the scenes. So that that was more the creative side.
Okay.
Yeah, making the props, setting up, who does what, directing stuff. Yeah, and then went to high school.
I see. So creating props.
Yeah.
What did you like about that?
It's fun. You get to draw, get to color. We did Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh,
school.
okay.
So we did a play together, and I made the props for back for scenes. Me and a couple other students. Yeah.
And you said you were into the import car scene.
The
what
90s,
did you drive?
Acura TL.
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you do to it?
We did a full custom kit on it because they didn't make no kit for that car back then. Rims. After high school, we put airbags on them. Yeah, and all
for the suspension.
For suspension, yeah. So we did all that, the import show off, hot import nights, did all that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fun.
Any engine tuning stuff? Exhaust?
Just exhaust, intake, maybe I think headers, and just are simple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, did all that. That was our time, right?
Yeah.
That was the beginning time, and then at the time, my girlfriend, we'll go to the car shows together, just have fun and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, that's very SGV.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And sorry, there was another thing that you mentioned photography. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what did you do with photography?
So we took a class where they kind of teach you how to develop the film. It was still film back then. So you go to a dark room, you learn how to develop film in the room. And it was just cool. It was really awesome, right? Because you get to learn all that, old school stuff, right? So the teacher will give you a subject. Okay, this week take a picture of nature. Go out there and find something. So we'll go and take a picture of, flowers, tree, whatever, and go back during the week and develop the film. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was probably one of the funner class.
Did your parents know who you were and what your interests were?
No, I think it was kind of hard for us with my parents. I love my parents, obviously, but as an immigrant, they worked a lot, right, to upkeep the household, have food on the table type of thing. So they work so much that I didn't get to really see them. My father became a postman, but he works at the office, so he'll go to work at nighttime. So by the time like I go to sleep, he's at work.
Oh
right?
man,
Yeah. So
sucks.
and then my mom, she was doing sewing for a while, and then she opened her own business in sewing. So for most of my high school years and intermediate, it was like very minimum interaction with my parents. I mean, I helped them during high school at my mom's spot. Like you had to go there, help and work type of thing. Yeah. That's probably the only time I got to see them when I'm there helping them. Yeah, and weekends. Yeah.
I'm sorry for that for you, because that's
it's tough.
That's so painful.
Yeah.
That's very painful, and those are like you can't get that back.
Yeah.
You can't get that back. No money can buy that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you had some creative outlets in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they didn't wonder like, why does your car look like that?
No, I kind of fixed up towards the end, like towards the senior year. Yeah. Towards the end. Yeah.
Dude, my car. My mom was like, "Why is your car so loud?"
Okay. Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know.
What did you drive?
A 86 Corolla.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So it had headers, exhaust, intake. It had 2.5-inch piping all the way back.
Oh man.
That's why it was so loud.
Yeah.
You know?
Straight pipe.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I would gun it from like this stop sign like two or three blocks to my house.
Yeah.
So once I stopped there, I was like,
Hear you.
and yeah.
Yeah, those are good times.
Yeah. So okay. And so where does your journey go after high school?
After high school, I became a young father. So at that time, my girlfriend at the time, we became, husband and wife. So it kind of changed our whole dynamic of like living the college life, right? So we had to grow up fast, became parents. So I still went to college. I went to ITT Tech. I went to multiple colleges like Pasadena, ELAC, just to get GED. General Ed. And then I ended up at ITT Tech because it's more scheduled, right? So I went to school at night. I could work in the morning. I did that for about a year. And then my wife at the time, she went to school. I told her just one of us got to finish school first, right? So I told her, you go to school, get your degree first, and I'll just continue doing what I'm doing. So we kind of just did that first for at least a couple of years. So once she graduated, then I kind of swapped. So I went to school full-time type of thing, try to get my degree. So the whole degree thing is more for like my parents, right? Because, at that time they wanted you to have a degree in something, right? Because they didn't sacrifice coming here for you to like have nothing type of thing. So I kind of went to college just like for them, just like, hey, like I kind of like, it's one of those things like, okay, here, mom, this kind of, I know this is what you guys wanted. It's more like, it's for them. Yeah. I mean, it's for me too, but it's more like for them in a sense, you know what I mean?
And how much of that do you use today?
I used maybe 50% of my old previous job.
Okay.
And yeah. So I did.
So you got some of it.
Yeah, I did try to like. Hey, I did go to school. I have to like use this, right? I don't want to just went for nothing type of thing, So yeah.
Oh
so
man.
I grew up fast. Yeah, we had to grow up, become father and mom, and husband and wife type of thing. Yeah.
How did becoming a dad or knowing that you're becoming a dad change, your projection of what you wanted to do and just your whole life?
I'm happy that I started young, right? So there's no regrets there. Obviously, we just made ourselves a little longer timeline, right? So instead of partying in our 20s, we partied in our 30s, right? So when our kids grew up, but I have no regrets, of course. Totally, I love my kids. I love everything that happened, but we just grew up fast. We just, instead of partying with our friends, in the 20s or whatever, we just, we got to watch our kid, we have to become adults. It changed me for the better, I will say, because in my high school years, I was a rugrat, right? So when my wife told me, hey, you gotta be a father, like I did a 360, try to clean up and try to be the best I can. Yeah.
Wow, nothing changed you faster than
being a father. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what did your parents say to you at that time?
I mean, my mom and dad, they were like, I don't know if they were disappointed. They weren't like too mad. But my wife's side, my father-in-law, he tripped out because my wife is Filipino, right? So he was really, really strict. Like during high school when we were dating, like we couldn't even go to dances and stuff because like he wouldn't let her out, type of thing, like really strict parents.
And you're like,
So-
now they're pregnant.
yeah. So when they found out, like I think my mother-in-law was okay, like she did whatever, but my father-in-law at that time, he was like upset, like disown you type of thing. But
Man.
obviously after my daughter came along first, everything changed, right? He was happy, yeah, things changed. Yeah.
Oh man, that reminds me of this motivational speaker. His name's Vin. I forget. He's from Australia. Are you familiar with him? You've probably seen his stuff on social media.
I'm not good with names, but
Yeah. He tells this story of like his parents wanted him to fulfill Asian prophecy, and become a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, and he really loved magic. And so he was like 4 years into college, about to get his degree or graduate or something, and he goes to tell his parents, who escaped Vietnam, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do magic.
Yeah.
And so he was like scared to have that conversation.
Yeah.
And he's like, he said that, and then his dad and mom went off to the kitchen, and then when they came back, he's like, we didn't leave Vietnam so that you could be forced to do something you don't want to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God.
That's good.
Yeah. Wow.
Powerful. Yeah.
Why? I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Because you think like, and he set that up in the way that you think they're going to be mad.
Yeah.
But he's like, you pursue what you want. So, yeah, that's
good.
Crazy.
Yeah. That's good.
So that must have been a terrifying conversation for you.
Yeah.
For your father-in-law. But I'm glad everything is,
Yeah, because at that time we were barely going to like college, right? We were entering college when she got pregnant, right? So, but we still fulfilled everything. We still finished, college, got our degrees, multiple degrees, and then went forward with our life. Yeah.
Wow. And how many children do you have now?
Two.
Two children.
Yeah, two adults.
Two adults.
Yeah.
Okay. And how soon after did you have a second child?
About 6-year difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you went to ITT, and you said you used that in one of your jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went for ITT. I went for electronics, hardware electronics, and then my AS in that, and I got my BS in networking there as well. So I worked on multiple different jobs. So with the time that I was going to school and my wife was going to school, I actually worked at Firestone Complete Auto Care, and then on the weekends. And then my full-time job was like a surveillance camera, a high-tech surveillance camera company at the time. I was doing their shipping, and I was going to college at the same time, getting my degree. And I would like talk to the engineer that works there. Go, hey, once I get my degree, can you teach me like how to do this stuff? Because that's what I was going to school for. I kind of wanted to put it to use, right? Because I'm the hands-on person. I like that stuff, right? So we did everything in-house, like did R&D, repair, shipping. Everything was done in-house. And he told me, yeah, once you get your degree, I'll teach you. So even before I got my degree, after hours, I would go there and he'll just teach me, right? So he was willing to teach me. He was like my Yoda at that time. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what did you do with that knowledge?
So I transferred to his department, and then I started repairing the cameras that come in. So we'll like test brand new cameras, troubleshoot down to like component levels, read schematics, and then I ran the repair department. Yeah.
What do you love about working with your hands?
It's just something about it. Like, it's just, you get to look at all the cool gadgets on, all the diodes and capacitor and everything. At least that's my stuff, right? That's what I like, and you repair, you troubleshoot with, the scope and everything. I don't mind getting dirty. So that's the thing, right? I can't sit in front of a desk and just look at something. I need to be like, breaking stuff down and making it work.
Yeah. I was a mechanic in the military, and
Nice.
only in hindsight did I realize what I loved so much about it. Because not only can you work with your hands, you can work in outdoors, whatever. But at the end of the day, there's something that used to be broken and now it's fixed, right?
Exactly,
And you can like point to it, you can look at it, you can touch it.
Yeah.
Like this actually happened.
Yeah.
And some things that are so intangible or take months, you don't get that feeling, or maybe you don't see it at all,
Yeah.
right? So I was like, okay, yeah, I like that part of working with my hands. So.
Yeah, making something to nothing.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. You're still not working for yourself at this point.
No, I was still doing the 9 to 5.
What was your mindset then? Did you have dreams of something else, or were you set on that?
At that time, during that time, the whole time I was like in college stuff, I had I did side business. Like I did online car parts with like a couple buddies. We sell car parts online type of thing.
Like JDM stuff?
JDM stuff. We buy from big manufacturing, would sell back on our website. And that's like early 2000s, right? So we did that. I started doing carbon fiber stuff. Like I'll like overlay like engine cover for like dealers and stuff like that, and they'll sell it back out. So I will always have something to do. Like I always try to figure something to do that'll keep me going, right? I don't like to be static. Right? I need something that I'm really itchy for the next thing or whatever it is, right? I just need to learn, I guess. So I always have some kind of business doing something, right, with friends or whatever. Then I got the job. Then I kind of laid off on that and just focused on the job and just learned because I was brand new to electronics. Even though I went to school, it's totally different when you're in the field, right? So everything you learn in school, it might not even transition the field where you're learning for. Yeah. So I was just intrigued on that, right? Like, oh, this is so cool to me. Like, this is all brand new stuff, It's like, then it got me hyped up again to learn this whole electronic stuff. And yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you always had this like hustle mentality. Like you're always like doing something.
Yeah.
Oh, before I forget, do you still have the Acura?
I don't. I sold it to my buddy.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That sucks. I was wondering if your kids got it.
Nah.
Okay. Okay. Does your buddy still have it?
I think he might still.
Okay.
But he took everything off when he bought it from me.
Oh no.
Yeah.
How come?
He's one of this big stock type of thing. Yeah.
Oh,
he had it for a little bit and he just took everything out to drive a stock. Yeah. It wasn't his thing.
When did you or where does your journey go from there?
So I learned the electronic stuff. And even then, like my supervisor at the time, we started a clothing brand, right? It's like mid 2000 now.
Do you run all these ideas by your wife before you?
Some, yeah, some. Or my buddy was like, "Hey, let's just do this." All right, so we just do it, right? Like the car stuff. She knew I was into like the car stuff, so she was okay with that. So we just did the car stuff, right? And then it's just like little side projects, I guess you could say, which kind of helped me to where I am today. Because I learned how to do like open accounts, what is buy-in, what is the cost. So everything that I learned from the past that or failed, whatever, I wouldn't say it's failed. It's just a learning. So it brought me to where I am today to like learn all this stuff to operate the business.
I want to get to the part of the story of like where did 3D printing come in? Like how did you transition to get into that?
As I mentioned, I was working for a high-tech surveillance camera company. So we're always into like the new big thing or the gadgets and stuff, right? I'm a gadget person. I like what is the next gadgets and that's my thing, right? And then we heard about 3D printing probably 2009, 2010 at work, and we just talked about it. Nothing really, went about it till it kind of got a little bit more mainstream on our end. So about 2011, there was a shop. 2011, 2012, there was a shop in Pasadena called Maker. They opened up a 3D printing shop and they sold 3D printers, right? So at that time, I was like really, really curious, like what is this, So I went in. Introduced myself and kind of looked around, and then I was like, maybe I'll buy one just, to see what it is, So I bought one at that time, Christmas. I remember like 2012 Christmas. It was a present to myself. It was about $1,400. It's pretty expensive. Yeah, $1,500. Really primitive stuff, right, at that time. But it was cool technology, So I bought it, and then we assembled it together. And at that time, I still had my 9 to 5. So I was, my job. My wife was still working. And I want to say shortly after, she kind of got laid off. And I told her, why don't you just learn this stuff, learn the 3D stuff, and we'll teach each other, like when I come back, you teach me what you learn, and then when I have time, I'll teach you. So we kind of just built upon that. And then we printed a lot of random file online because we're not an artist. We're not 3D modelers at that time, right? It's hardware engineer, physical hardware. And we just self-taught. Everything was self-taught.
And then when did the idea to like turn this into a business come about?
We started 2013, since she got laid off, and then I told her, let's make something. She said, yeah, let's turn it into a company. And then she said, let's just do it, right? So I told her, okay, let's just do it then, right? So we put our money together, whatever we had, borrowed some cash from my parents to buy a 3D scanner. We just went balls deep, like know nothing about 3D printing or anything, just did online research. And at that time, there was a company in Japan that caught my eyes that did the 3D figure stuff, right? And I was like, oh, maybe we could try to do that, bring it here, So we bought the equipment, the printer, and self-taught and just learned everything. But it wasn't as easy as we thought it would be, right? It wasn't like just, 3D scan you, print you out. We didn't know all the back end stuff, But the way they showed it, it was like, oh yeah, just scan, put it in the computer, and then print, right? Yeah, so we got fooled, right? But then we learned. We self-taught ourselves, and yeah, that's how it worked. That's
okay. So you sort of saw that this was a business running in Japan, making 3D models of people.
Correct.
And you're like, oh, we can do that here. And so you get this equipment. And what were the difficulties, or what didn't you know that you needed to know?
Everything, right? Because
Oh.
the printer itself is like a one subject, a monster itself, right? The 3D scanner was another issue, and then after you scan, you have to do the digital, right? The digital cleanup and software. We didn't know none of that, right? So even when we went in to buy the scanner, the seller was just showing us a demo and said, "Yeah, this is all you need to do," but he didn't explain the backend stuff. So that kind of put us in a bad spot, right? So we bought everything. So we had to look for artists at that time to help us, so like freelancers, right? So we'll do the scanning, they do the cleanup, and we print. But even then, it was really tough because it was so new. Like this technology was so new to the public period, right? Nobody even understood what it was.
I'm trying to get an idea. So the scanner, you still need someone with artistic ability to be able to clean it up.
Correct. Yeah. So the scanner only captures, what it captures, and you still need to go in and do all the digital cleanup and color corrections in order to ensure that your print looks good.
And then was the use of the scanner easy enough to learn, or was that also a challenge?
Back then, it was okay. It was once you just practice, right? You just got to practice a lot, and then once you get down, you get it down. But you still need to know the back end work. That's where the magic happens. All the digital cleanup. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where people don't see.
The scanner just scans, and an artist looks at it and makes it look more realistic, or how's it supposed to
Yeah.
look?
Yeah.
That must take a lot of time.
That takes a lot of time. Yeah, it takes a lot of time to do the digital cleanup if you want it to look good.
Yeah, let's get into what it is that your business actually does. But
Okay.
Before that,
Yeah.
we ask each guest to bring an item with them. What did you bring with you today?
I brought
Yeah, I want to see this. You can show this camera.
this basketball card, right?
Yes, please describe it.
Yeah, this is a single card but double sided, right? So this card, as a kid, I remember this because I bought it from the ice cream man. Right?
What?
Yeah, I bought this from the ice cream. Like they used to sell basketball cards,
Yeah.
pack-in stuff, and so I bought it from him, a pack, and I opened it up, and then like he went around the block, and I opened it. I was like, oh, this is a cool card, I've never seen this, right? Because I collect basketball cards, baseball cards when I was younger. And then he came back around, showed him like, "Holy, look at what I pulled! This is pretty cool." And he tried to buy it off me, right? And I was like, yeah, I forgot how much he offered. I think like $10 or something, right? $10. I was like, "Nah, I'm keeping this, right? This is like the Olympic team, the '92. Like this is I've never seen that type of card like this before, right?" So I told him, "Nah, this is very sentimental to me."
So why is it sentimental to you, this card and this team?
Well, because it's like the first, Olympic team for the U.S., right? And then at the same time, that's like the same time I still live with my grandparents, right? And it's just something that like just brings me back to like when I was a child, right? I still live with them, and then something, the fun neighborhood kids, type of thing, and like collecting cards, playing with neighborhood kids, yeah.
Okay. Can I see it?
Yeah, totally.
So, have you looked at how much this card is worth?
I don't think it's worth a lot, but it's just more like a sentimental value type of thing, yeah.
Okay. So this is the dream team here,
Yeah,
and this
exactly.
says Magic, Mullen,
Yeah.
Robinson,
Jordan, yeah, Pippen.
yeah. Oh, I see now. Now I see
Yeah.
why they had it. Both. Oh, one is East and West.
Yeah.
Stockton, Malone, Barkley, Bird, Ewing. Awesome.
Yeah, there you go.
Awesome. Wow. Okay. Well, before we go to before we go to commercial, let's open.
Totally,
this.
yeah, totally.
So talk about it a little bit.
So obviously you came to our studio, we scanned you. So this is the final output. So yeah.
Okay.
See how you.
Yeah. So Will invited me to come to the studio to do this, and the process was super simple. I just had to stand there, and they scanned me, took some photos, and I got to see the studio. So this is my blind reaction to seeing my figure being made, the end result of my figure. So
It still come with the case, but since such a tight timeline, I gotta get the case made.
okay.
So
Okay.
As a base right now.
Oh my gosh, that is funny. I mean, funny that it actually like looks like me. Wow, this is so cool. Oh wow. Okay, this is the face and the hair.
So digitally, we could make it look color correction, everything amazing. But for a physical print, the printer itself kind of maxes out on the technology.
What does that mean?
So like if you say like somebody has tattoos, and digitally we would make it really crisp and clean on the computer, but when it's print, it might not be that crisp and clean because the technology isn't advanced to meet what you see on a computer.
I see. Okay. Okay. That's funny to look at myself. Well, Wow, this is so cool. Thank you so
Of
much,
course.
Will. And I really think this is so cool. I don't think mine is cool because it's me, but the
Still
just
cool.
having this
Yeah.
is really, really cool. So thank you
Yeah,
so
of course.
much.
Thank you. No problem.
So I want to get more into what it is that you actually do and the type of products and services that you do. But let's take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Sometimes, even the best of us can slip up. That's why the law offices of Scott Wormuth are here to pick you back up again.
And while they strive to get you the biggest compensation possible, oh my gosh.
Their main concern is your health and recovery. They work closely with doctors and insurance companies to make sure you get the proper medical treatment.
Initial consultations are free, so give them a call.
At the law offices of Scott Wormuth, we're with you all the way.
I'm Scott Wormuth. We've been fighting for your rights for more than 40 years.
All right, we're back with Will with Cokreeate. I don't think I mentioned your company name before, but these I want to make sure to mention this. These things are so amazing. If you want one of these for yourself, for your family, as a gift or whatever, I'd highly recommend considering this because it's so much different than a photograph. Like I don't know how to explain it. I'm looking at myself, but I wish it was my kids. But yeah, if you want to get one of these, mention that you saw it on this show. You'll get a discount. Just mention SGV Podcast, my SGV Podcast. Yeah, contact them. So this is so cool. This is so cool. Will, before we get into your company and what you offer, when we come back from break, we like to ask questions from this deck of cards called Icebreakers.
Okay.
So it's a fun way for the audience to get to know both of us a little bit better. So I'm going to answer as well.
Okay.
Okay. So here we go. Will, what do you regret not doing when you were younger?
I don't know. I've done a lot of stuff when we were younger, right? Like we were before the internet age, right? So we kind of like we were out there, right? We done everything. Like, so I don't think there's actually regret of not doing anything when I was younger. Maybe now when I'm older, like kind of like go out travel more. Yeah. But when I was younger, yeah, I mean like there's before phone, right? So we were out there everywhere,
Sure.
exploring.
One of the things I think I regret is being more curious about who my dad was.
Okay.
Just because he's no longer here, asking him about his life.
Gotcha.
Some of those stories that I can't get now.
Yeah,
They don't exist anywhere.
Yeah.
So, beyond sharing about what you offer as a company, this is also a way for you to cement these stories for your children and for your family.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's one thing I regret.
I actually make my kids ask my parents, like, hey, ask your grandparents how their life was when they're younger. Like, learn your history, learn your roots, right? Because they're born here, so they're not gonna understand that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like really like pressure them, like, go ask your grandparents, let them tell you their story, so you can know the history.
Sure. Yeah, super important. So, if you're watching or listening, let us know, what do you regret not doing when you were younger? So, Will, your company is called Cokreeate. And first, let's start. How did you come up with that name?
Co is my last name, CO, and then we wanted something where like we want to help other create their dreams, their product or whatever it is. So we figured, let's name it Cokreeate, but we spelled it differently because there's actually a Cokreeate software company. So we spell our create with a K and double E. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's something different. Yeah.
I see. Okay. And so now talk about what it is that you do. So this is just a part of what you do,
Yeah.
right? So what is this? And like talk about all the offerings that you do, because I can't explain it all.
So in the beginning, that was our main business model, right? To 3D scan people, to like bring them to the future of like digital, family portrait, right? That was the thing, family portrait, right? Because back then you go to Sears, JCPenney, take your family portrait. So we wanted to make it more like a 3D figure of you and your family. But at that time, the technology was so new. Every convention we did was like educating people. So it was really tough, right? It was like brand new business model is educating people. So we had to branch off to do everything else to stay afloat. So we start doing like reverse engineering. If you have a product idea, you bring it in, we bring it to life for you. We start doing 3D scanning service for studio company. So we kind of at the point where we do a little bit of everything in 3D world, producing, CAD design, printing, yeah, and everything was self-taught. We didn't know none of this.
And you've worked with some pretty famous people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of them had a big influence on you. Can you share that story?
My own personal milestone for the company itself was Stanley, right? Like if watch Marvel, he's the one that made Marvel characters, right? So growing up as a kid, like Wolverine was my favorite character because he was just awesome, right? He didn't give a f about anything type of thing, like that mentality. He couldn't die, right? So yeah, so like, and then we were able to like work with him at a convention. Like I was saying, our neighbor at that time was working with him already, his Stan's people, and we just kind of start talking, and then they were nice enough to introduce us to Stan's people, and we just made a connection there, and then they loved the idea of the figure of themselves because they never seen it at that time. So we built a connection, and then we were able to scan Stan, and he's such a humble person. Like the whole team, he dealt with, amazing individual. Yeah.
So you got to get this individual who you looked up to the characters that he created in your studio.
Yeah, so we were able to scan them. We actually, so we're so close with their team. After a while, we were able to go to his office and just casually visit him, type of thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where was his office?
It was in Hollywood. Yeah, like Beverly Hills. Yeah.
And you also worked for some other famous people too, as well.
Yeah, we've done a lot of projects for like Fox Studio. A lot of studio works too, or we do like digital or like printing big props for them. We've done music video with Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, E40. Yeah.
And you also do things beyond this size and beyond characters, right? So can you talk about those?
We do like architectural buildings. So we've done buildings for architects, students, as well as firms where they bring in a model and we print it out for them for a display purpose. For either they're trying to sell like a community display to buyers or student with projects. And obviously, the print, we've done mannequins for certain companies where we 3D scan them so they can have a perfect size of their body to use for swimsuit or clothing line. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So a little bit of everything. So it's interesting because everything we do every day, it's different.
I see. Yeah. So I don't want to hijack your purpose and what your goals are, even though mine to promote the whole family thing is my own goal. Like that, I don't know that that's theirs, but I saw in one of your cases, all your family. Yeah. And how did you guys come to think of that?
Because like at the beginning, that was the goal for the company, as I mentioned, right? So we scan everybody for all the family, my grandparents, my mom, my dad, my wife's parents' side, everybody, whoever we could scan, because they were beta testing at that point, right? So fortunately at that time, my grandparents are still around, so I was able to capture them. So now, they're no longer with me, so I see them on the shelving every day, and that's how I remember my grandparents. That's how he sat, that's how he, his posture and everything. It's the same thing with my grandma. Yeah, so it's very sentimental to me as well.
Oh, I imagine. Yeah. I still can't describe what that must be like. It's not my family, but I can see how it would impact me if it was my family. Even my dog, and you even scan pets too, right?
Yeah, we also my dog too. Yeah, we didn't scan them because you had to hold still, right? So we just digitally sculpted them based on photo. And my dog passed. He's gonna be a year gone in November. Yeah, like a little before Thanksgiving. Yeah, so I have him there.
and what a great option to have to memorialize your pet.
Yeah,
because taxidermy is quite expensive. Yeah. And I think I think that's more creepy. You thought you said some people think this is creepy.
Yeah.
I think taxidermy is a little bit creepy, because it is actually physically the dog.
Yeah.
Right. But you can have your pet memorialized like this as well.
Correct.
And you did like a life-size thing of it.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. So they're not limited to this size. You can do quite large pieces.
As far as full coloring, the max that we could do one size is about 15-inch, but we've done it where we mix multi-materials to make it bigger, and we just print the head in full color. Yeah, and everything else will be custom painted.
Somebody else could hire an artist to paint it, right? Like a really large piece.
Yeah.
And what's the largest piece that you've made?
The largest piece, we've done like a soccer player part of that project, and it was like a 20-foot statue that they brought around, travel around the States.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's huge.
Yeah.
How long does a project like that take?
That project, we're part of a whole team, right? So we did the hand. The hand took maybe a week to print. We did all the scanning digital work. And then everything else was foam milled because they need to be able to carry it and nothing breaks, yeah. It took I think it was a 2-month project because they needed right away type of thing to travel the States.
Again, I'm just talking about a family thing because I really think that's very impactful. Let's say somebody wanted to have their family. Do they come in all together? Do you do them one by one? Do you recommend to them how they should pose, or what does that process look like?
So they could come all together if they have a pose in mind, but if they come all together, we might just scan them individually and just merge them digitally. Because we've done wedding where they don't want to see each other in a wedding dress. So we'll scan the the groom first or the bride first, and then we'll tell them, hey, go have lunch somewhere and come back, and then we'll just merge everything digitally, right? But for family, if they know what they want, if they want to stand together, then they can all come in and we'll scan them all together. Yeah.
Oh yes, I forgot. So for wedding cake toppers, you do this, right?
Yes. Yep.
That's awesome. And so for those, like, what other uses are people getting done this
Sweet
for?
16, birthdays, just the whole family portrait type of thing. We do like production runs too for influencer, where we print them into smaller scale, about 4-inch, 5-inch, and custom package, so they can sell it to their fans. So instead of making a full production, from China, which you have to buy a lot of pieces, we could do a minimum of 50 pieces, and everything could be numbered, signed, so it's it's more exclusive.
Ah, that's so cool. Yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody wants to buy.
You never know. You'd be surprised.
I don't think that's kind of creepy if someone wants to buy a little figure of me. But I can see like influencers or people who have fans that want to do that. Wow, that's so cool. What is some misconceptions that people have about what you do?
They just think like it's easy, right? Or this sometimes we get emails where, can you just like take this photo and just print it? Just think that, or scan this photo and just make it real quick. It doesn't work that way. Everything takes a lot of time to create, right? So I think that people think like 3D scanning stuff, it's like so fast and it's ready to print, but it's not. Yeah.
And I visited your shop, and you have what looks like to me very complicated equipment, right? Not just the physical equipment, but on the digital side as well. It looks like it's pretty complicated.
Yeah. So we have your standard plastic printers. It's really affordable now for your end consumers. But we have more of the industrial stuff that prints, that figure itself is totally different printer and resin printers. And, we need high gaming laptop because the scanner requires like really high graphic cards to process the scan with. Yeah. Oh. So most of our laptops are like gaming laptops.
Last time you mentioned that you wanted to move more towards like a different model of business where you're actually carrying or like you're the one distributing or selling or what?
Yeah, so we kind of want to go back to focusing on license of people, kind of like the figure stuff I mentioned. So like example, we will license with you, right? We'll make your figure. Every piece we sell, we'll give you a percentage of it. So we want to kind of go back to branding ourselves as a company of that, because I feel like a lot of influencer or just important people, they can't make a product of themselves because a lot of companies require such a high volume to make, right? So we want to fill that gap and say you could make with us for small run, so your fans could have it, you could have it, or at an event you could distribute to people and stuff. Yeah.
And then would you be pushing to make those sales?
No, you would be.
Oh,
so as an influencer, like say we work with you, so you will push the sale, but we will do all the back end work. We'll do the production, because your fans only knows you, right? They won't know me, they'll know us, right? So it doesn't make sense for us to push it.
Okay, I get it. Awesome. And is there anything else that you want people to know about Cokreeate and what you guys do?
Just come visit us. We're our doors are open to everybody if they're curious. Like we want to teach the younger kids, right? Because we do a lot of like school events for kids, and it kind of like it makes me happy seeing that they're like, oh, they're so wild about it, right? Like, oh man, this 3D printing, like it just blows their mind what they could create, So we want to put that back in the community. Like if you're around Alhambra, come on in. What I mean? Like our doors are open, it's for everybody, right? So if you're curious, you want to know what's about, just come in, say hi.
I bet you there's a way to connect with homeschools and charter schools, and where this is a class.
Yeah,
having these immersive experiences where they're actually learning stuff, it's super valuable.
I agree.
Yeah. Will, we're going to move on to the final segment of the show. Okay. We're going to switch the conversation, talk about food, and we get to learn what you like in the SGV. So, Will, this is called the SGV3, and we want to know your 3 favorite places to eat in the San Gabriel Valley.
Yeah, this is a tough one because I eat so many stuff, but like one of our go-to, like we live around there, it's a U2 barbecue.
U2 barbecue
on Valley.
Okay.
Yeah. So they've been there forever, right? So like it's like a family style, or you can have your individual. They open really late, right? Sometimes we work so late, or we just friend hang out. They open, like we'll go there at 11 or something, and then just order something. They have like special stuff. That's one of my go-to spot.
Has that awning, right? That
in
protrudes
front.
out in front, and
they're right on Valley. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. What do you guys order there?
If we do family style, it's like everybody just pick a dish, right? So like depending on who's there, like I just have everybody pick what you want, and we just all share it, right? Yeah.
Okay.
There's really no really specific one. It's just like we try everything.
And a second place?
Second place will be Poke Stuff. They're in Colima, Nogales.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Out there.
Yeah, they're out there.
What do they serve?
It's just like your poke bowl and stuff, but I like that spot because it's more like a family run business. So you can see the kids working there and the parents. So yeah, I like to support small business type of thing. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
The food's great too, though. But don't get me wrong. Yeah.
And what do you like to order there?
The seasick nachos. Seasick nachos. Yeah.
Oh,
you have to get
wow.
That. Yeah, it's.
That's interesting. I never even heard of that.
Yeah.
Does it have cheese?
No.
Okay, so it's just sisig with chips or something.
Yeah. But it's really good. It's really
interesting.
Good.
Is it crispy or does
it's
it
crispy?
Wow.
Yeah. It's really, yep.
Wow.
Yeah,
I forgot your wife is Filipino. So.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And then a third place.
Third place, Awesome Hot Wings. They used to be called the Alondras on Main Street, but now it's called Awesome.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yes, Alondras. Do you eat the atomic wings?
Yeah, I tried it once. Yeah. But man, that thing is spicy. I think they make you sign a waiver.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do. Oh, okay. They're called Awesome Wings now?
Yeah, they call Awesome.
Oh, and so do you just get wings there?
No, we get like pizza and burgers. Sometimes we do a lot of we do parties there. Like, Thanksgiving party, get together. Yeah. They're great. It's like run by brothers. Yeah, they're great people. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oh, so you have tried it?
Yeah.
Did you regret it?
Yeah, I mean, it was horrible feeling after.
Oh yeah,
but we had to try it because I like spicy food, right? So yeah.
When I was coaching high school, one of my kids came in. Or actually, he was there. I was having dinner with a friend. He's like, "What's up, coach?" And he's like, "Oh, that's not even spicy." Because we had I think regular hot there.
Okay.
And I'm like, "I'll give you $10 to eat this." And he snatches the $10 and he takes the whole thing. It was just a hot, right?
Okay.
He's like, "That's nothing." I was like, "Okay." This guy's like 13, 14 years old, right? So he leaves, and then we're like, "Hey, I'll give you $20 to have the atomic." And then my friend there is like, "I'll give you $20 too." Okay. So for a freshman, that's $40. That's a lot, right?
Yeah, that's a lot.
He's like, okay, right? And then we're like, okay, like you have to sign a waiver for it, thinking like this is going to dissuade him, right?
Yeah.
So he comes, the waitress comes, she's like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And then like right before he's going to take it, we're like, "Dude, Francisco, don't do this. You don't need to do this, right?" He's like, no. He takes the whole thing, the whole little cup, shoots it, and then he shoots like a thing of ranch, and he grabs his money, and we're like, "Oh, dude, this is not going to be good, right?" We could see him from our table, and we just like he's looking at us like trying to pretend like nothing's wrong, and you could just see his like the big thing of water, like he's just down.
It hits you after.
He runs off to the restroom, like It was bad. He said that he had to spend most of his money like buying Pepto-Bismol.
That Tommy was no joke.
Oh yeah. Well, anyway, so Will, thank you so much for sharing those places to eat with us. If people want to connect with you, check out what you're doing, or go visit you, how can they do that?
They can find us on Instagram, TikTok under Cokreeate. Yeah.
And then the spelling is unusual. So can you spell that out?
Cokreeate.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. And you're located in Alhambra, right?
Correct.
Alhambra.
We're in Fremont.
Definitely. If you want to get this, and I highly recommend you check it out, go look at it, see what it feels like, and think about what it would be like to see your family like that. Like I cannot express how amazing that feeling would be. Yeah. So and please mention that you saw mention the show and you get a discount. So Will, thank you so much for being here today,
having me.
Sharing your story with us.
Appreciate you.
Really appreciate it. Thank you. So there you go, another episode in the books. I really hope you enjoyed this and got something from it. I really enjoyed hearing him get to sort of cement that story of how his family was here and growing up. As I'm getting these stories from our guests, I'm always thinking about how their friends and family are going to hear it. What are they going to get from it? Because sometimes it's not just about what they're doing now, but really to see what they've gone through. So I see in Will a person who's always striving to do more and create, but to also be creative, not just in his expressions, but how he can get on to the next thing. And you have to see what it is that they create. It's very difficult to explain in person or over the phone. I mean, you need to go see it. So I hope you like this kind of content. If you do, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to like and share. If you want to see more of our episodes, go check out our website, myshtv.net. And until next week, We'll see you then. Thank you for joining us on the MySGV podcast. Check out more of our content on our website, mysgv.net. This show was produced by Scott Wormuth, directed by Russell Mano, edited by Victoria Allers, and original music by Yone OG. If you'd like to join us next week as we capture and share more stories from our diverse community, feel welcome.
Nice mother. No, kind of mother.